Beyond the Gates November 6 spoilers. Explosive developments at Fairmont Crest as Joey's secret reunion and Vanessa's ambitious new venture ignite drama and heartbreak. Welcome back to the BTG channel. Today we will learn about the issue that's about to shake the very foundations of Fairmont Crest Country Club this week. Thursday, November 6, 2025. Marks a pivotal turning point for the residents of the DMV as long-buried secrets surface. New business ventures threaten established power dynamics, and relationship foundations crumble under the weight of deception. This episode promises to be one of the most explosive installments of the season, delivering drama on multiple fronts as key characters navigate surprising revelations, ambitious new opportunities, and the complex aftermath of broken trust. Let's dive deep into what's about to unfold. The enigmatic reunion. Joey's mysterious meeting sparks speculation. One of the most intriguing developments unfolding on Thursday centers on Joey, who finds himself in an unexpected and highly secretive reunion, as fans and characters alike scrambling for answers. This mysterious encounter is far from the conventional meetup that casual viewers might anticipate. The identity of this reunion partner remains shrouded in mystery, creating an air of suspense and intrigue that permeates through the episode's narrative. Is this individual someone with a lengthy history in the show, whose return the audience has been anticipating? Or is this a completely fresh face entering the drama with their own complex agenda and hidden motives? Adding another layer of complexity to this situation is the question of legitimacy and moral standing. The potential reunion partner could be someone from Joey's legitimate business circles, perhaps a former associate or colleague from his above-board entrepreneurial ventures. Conversely, this person might bring with them a more questionable background, someone whose involvement with Joey could suggest connections to shadier dealings or potentially illegal activities that could jeopardize Joey's hard-won respectability. The ambiguity surrounding this reunion's nature makes it a focal point of speculation among both the characters at Fairmont Crest and the devoted audience following every twist and turn of this beloved soap opera. The timing of this reunion is particularly intriguing given the current upheaval in Joey's personal and professional life, with Vanessa making aggressive moves into his business operations and various relationship dynamics shifting throughout the club. Joey's unexpected meeting could represent either an opportunity for expansion, a complication that threatens his existing arrangements, or perhaps a reconnection with someone from his past who holds significant emotional weight. The writers have clearly crafted this moment to maximize suspense and encourage viewers to speculate wildly about the possibilities. Vanessa's meteoric rise. New business venture transforms her status at Fairmont Crest. Meanwhile, Vanessa has positioned herself at the center of another major storyline this week, one that demonstrates her unwavering ambition and her determined climb toward greater influence and authority within the exclusive circles of Fairmont Crest Country Club. The recent death of her husband, while tragic and emotionally devastating, seems to have catalyzed a transformation in Vanessa's approach to her future. Rather than retreating into grief and isolation, she has seized the moment to advance her standing within the club's intricate social hierarchy and business landscape. The most significant development in Vanessa's arc this week involves her assumption of control over Joey's legitimate and completely legal escort service operation. This transition represents a dramatic shift in their professional relationship. Just days earlier, in Tuesday's episode, Joey maintained a clear stance of resistance, declining to place any substantial business responsibility under Vanessa's management. His reluctance appeared absolute, a firm boundary that seemed unlikely to shift. However, in a shocking reversal that catches both Vanessa and audiences off guard, Joey experiences an abrupt change of heart. He makes the decisive move to hand over the keys to his well-established, scandal-free escort agency to Vanessa's capable hands. This decision fundamentally alters the power dynamics at Fairmont Crest. Vanessa, newly widowed and potentially vulnerable, transforms into a legitimate businesswoman with real authority and resources. Her assumption of this role is far from ceremonial. She immediately begins making strategic decisions and implementing her own vision for how the operation should be managed and expanded. Her first order of business involves recognizing that Diego, the club's charismatic personal trainer, maintains an undisclosed affiliation with Joey's escort service. Diego's involvement in this enterprise adds another layer of complexity to Fairmont Crest's social ecosystem, as the trainer has carefully maintained a separation between his public persona as a fitness professional and his private work in the companion service industry. Now that Vanessa holds the reins of power, the dynamics between her and Diego undergo a profound transformation. Previously, their interactions were confined to the trainer-client relationship or casual club encounters, governed by the social protocols of the country club environment. However, with Vanessa now serving as Diego's direct employer and supervisor, their relationship shifts into entirely new territory. What had been a relatively straightforward professional connection now becomes layered with power imbalances, potential for exploitation, and the complicated interplay of workplace dynamics. The question becomes not simply whether Vanessa will capably manage the escort service operation, but how she will exercise her newly acquired authority over Diego, and whether she might use her position to her advantage in ways that could create unexpected complications or consequences. The gossip mill at Fairmont Crest works overtime as club members attempt to process Vanessa's rapid trajectory. Just weeks ago, she was grieving her loss in private. Now she's making bold business moves and publicly appearing with Joey in various settings throughout the club. Some members begin to whisper about whether Vanessa and Joey's connection extends beyond mere professional partnership. The proximity of her husband's death to her sudden business collaboration with Joey, combined with their visible ease with one another, creates fertile ground for speculation and rumor. Whether these suspicions have any basis in reality or represent merely the inevitable product of small-minded gossip, they serve to elevate Vanessa's profile while simultaneously subjecting her to heightened scrutiny from all quarters. The cascade of deception, heartbreak, and relationship fractures threaten multiple couples. The most devastating storyline unfolding this week involves a shocking revelation that threatens to demolish not one, but two romantic relationships of forcing characters to confront long-held secrets and grapple with fundamental questions about trust and honesty. The epicenter of this emotional earthquake involves Ashley and Derek, a couple whose relationship now faces its most serious test to date. Ashley has just made a staggering discovery. Derek possesses full sensation and mobility in his legs, a finding that contradicts everything he has led her to believe about his medical condition since the very beginning of their relationship. The implications of this revelation are staggering in their scope and emotional intensity. Derek has been concealing the truth about his physical condition from Ashley not for days or weeks, but since the foundation of their romantic relationship was laid. This isn't a small omission or a minor detail overlooked in the haze of new love. This is a fundamental deception that strikes at the heart of their partnership and calls into question the authenticity of every interaction, every decision, and every emotional moment they have shared. Ashley must now process not only the shock of Derek's actual medical status, but also the deeper betrayal implicit in his elaborate and sustained deception. She must confront the uncomfortable reality that the man she agreed to marry has been deliberately misrepresenting his circumstances, which raises disturbing questions about what else he might be hiding and whether their relationship was ever built on genuine honesty. The ramifications of Derek's secret extend far beyond his immediate relationship with Ashley. Collateral damage reaches another couple who has maintained their own complicated dynamic: Naomi and Jacob. Jacob, Derek's closest friend and confidant, has been privy to the truth about Derek's condition all along. Instead of insisting that his best friend come clean with his fiancée, Jacob has remained silent, effectively becoming complicit in the deception. Jacob expressed his own discomfort with the situation to Derek, making clear his disapproval of the dishonesty. Yet he stopped short of taking the decisive action that would have revealed the truth to Ashley. This half-hearted stance of disapproving, but ultimately enabling no threatens to destroy Jacob and Naomi's relationship as well. When Naomi discovers Jacob's involvement in Derek's deception, she faces her own crisis of trust. The question becomes not only how Jacob could support his friend's lie, but whether Jacob's judgment is fundamentally compromised by his loyalty to Derek. Naomi must wonder if she can trust Jacob to be honest with her about matters in their own relationship, especially if he was willing to withhold crucial information from Ashley despite his own reservations. The couple had been considering marriage counseling to address existing issues and deepen their emotional connection, but this revelation threatens to undermine the process before it even formally begins. How can they effectively work through their relational challenges if Jacob's capacity for deception has been called into question so definitively? The emotional weight of these revelations creates a shockwave that ripples throughout Fairmont Crest. Both couples find themselves at critical junctures, forced to make difficult decisions about whether their relationships can survive these foundational breaches of trust. Ashley must decide whether she can forgive Derek's elaborate deception, or whether the betrayal represents an insurmountable obstacle to their future together. Similarly, Naomi must grapple with Jacob's failure to be a voice for truth, even though his silence was motivated by loyalty to his best friend rather than personal dishonesty. The complexity of the situation with multiple people affected and multiple layers of deception creates a morally ambiguous landscape where no one person bears sole responsibility. Yet, everyone must account for their role in perpetuating the lies. The silver lining. Dani and Andre's emotional breakthrough offers hope, in stark contrast to the relationship turbulence threatening other couples. Dani and Andre experience a transformative week that deepens their emotional intimacy and strengthens the bonds holding them together. While other relationships fracture under the weight of secrets and deception, this couple moves in the opposite direction, toward greater honesty, vulnerability, and mutual understanding. Their trajectory this week demonstrates that within the drama and heartbreak of Fairmont Crest, genuine moments of connection and personal growth are possible. The foundations of Dani and Andre's strengthening connection involve a significant show of commitment and allegiance. Both Dani and her ex-husband Bill make the consequential decision to fully pledge their loyalty to their respective current spouses. This declaration isn't merely symbolic or performative. It represents a genuine recommitment to their current relationships, and an explicit rejection of any lingering romantic or emotional attachments to their past. For Dani, this affirmation of her dedication to Andre signals her intention to build a future with him and is uncomplicated by unresolved feelings or divided loyalties. For Bill, making a similar pledge to his own spouse demonstrates that the boundaries between past and present relationships have been clearly and definitively established. Beyond these relationship realignments, Dani and Andre experience a profound emotional breakthrough through meaningful conversation about Andre's troubled past. Andre has carried emotional wounds throughout his life, scars from experiences that have shaped his worldview, influenced his relational patterns, and affected his capacity for vulnerability and trust. By opening up to Dani about these painful memories and difficult experiences, Andre allows her deeper access to his inner world. He trusts her with the fragile parts of himself that he typically keeps hidden away. This kind of emotional exposure and vulnerability is precisely the currency that builds lasting romantic connections. Dani's willingness to listen to Andre's painful revelations with compassion and without judgment creates a safe space for him to share aspects of his history and psychology that he might otherwise keep private. Rather than attempting to minimize his pain, dismiss his experiences, or rush him toward healing, she simply bears witness to his story. This act of compassionate listening strengthens their bond in ways that surface-level conversations never could. Dani demonstrates that she sees Andre not just as her romantic partner, but as a complete human being with a complex history and legitimate emotional needs. In return, Andre experiences the profound relief that comes from being truly known and accepted by another person. These deep conversations about personal history and emotional vulnerability tend to create powerful bonding experiences between romantic partners. The psychological research on relationship development demonstrates that partners who engage in meaningful self-disclosure and who respond to their partner's vulnerability with empathy and acceptance tend to develop stronger emotional connections and more resilient relationships. For Dani and Andre, this week represents a turning point in their relationship trajectory, a moment where they move from surface-level partnership into deeper emotional territory. The broader context: Fairmont Crest as a pressure cooker of drama. Thursday's episode demonstrates why Fairmont Crest Country Club has become the epicenter of compelling drama in the DMV area. This exclusive social institution serves not merely as a backdrop for romantic entanglements and business dealings, but as a pressure cooker where multiple storylines intersect, where secrets cannot remain hidden for long, and where the consequences of individual actions cascade across the entire community. The interplay between personal relationships, business ventures, and social hierarchies creates a complex ecosystem where one person's decision inevitably affects multiple others. Joey and Vanessa, portrayed by John Lindstrom and Lauren Bujoli respectively, celebrated as Soap Hub's October Performers of the Month for Beyond the Gate Shave, become central figures in this week's unfolding drama. Their chemistry, whether born of romantic attraction or pragmatic business partnership, continues to captivate audiences and create ripples of speculation throughout the community. The fact that Vanessa, a recent widow, appears so frequently in Joey's company and seems so focused on advancing her business interests rather than dwelling in grief, speaks to either her remarkable resilience or suggests that her grief may be more complicated than it initially appears on the surface. What's next for Fairmont Crest? As the week progresses beyond Thursday, several critical questions remain unanswered. Will Joey's mysterious reunion bring new allies into Fairmont Crest's fold, or will it introduce complications that threaten existing arrangements? Will Vanessa prove herself a capable and ethical manager of Joey's escort service, or will her exercise of power lead to unexpected consequences? Most pressingly, will Ashley and Derek's relationship survive the revelation of his deception? And can Naomi and Jacob navigate the trust issues that now threaten their partnership? Will Dani and Andre's emotional breakthrough provide them with the tools necessary to build an even stronger future together? Or will external pressures eventually test the bounds of their renewed connection? The dramatic potential inherent in these interconnected storylines suggests that Fairmont Crest residents are in for a tumultuous period ahead. The lies that have been uncovered will not simply fade away with time. Their effects will continue to reverberate through relationships, business dealings, and social connections. Yet within the chaos and heartbreak, opportunities exist for growth, redemption, and the possibility of building more authentic relationships based on honesty and genuine acceptance. Tune in to Beyond the Gates to witness how these explosive developments unfold and to see which relationships will emerge stronger from the crucible of deception and which will ultimately crumble under the weight of broken trust and shattered illusions.